Hello, everybody. This is Amod, founder and CEO of Qrera Technologies. Uh, I'm going to talk about Industry 4.0 and its applications in Indian manufacturing industry. Industry 4.0 is a buzzword these days, and people are curious to know how exactly it can be applied. It's a simple thing. It means connecting different machines using internet and transfer this information to the right places and process it and give it to the people or the decision makers who needs it at the best. Uh, to give the background, Industry 4.0, the term came from Germany, where people were, trying to come up with the with the next level of solutions for the machines of predictive maintenance and processing a lot of information and what do we do with this data, because we have this internet infrastructure and ability to process a lot of information in a very efficient manner. Now, coming back to the point of looking at it from Indian perspective, so the talking basic things, any technology, the purpose of any technology is to solve some problem, reduce the efforts, increase the efficiency, and save time. So how can we look at Industry 4.0? It is to give an example of how chairman and CEO of Intel looked at technology when emails were invented. He said that email converts days into minutes or seconds, and one email can reach to 10 people in the same time. So, this is how any technology can be looked at it saves times in multiples of, tens and hundreds of factors compared to what it could have done if the technology was not available. So this is the aspect which is really important to look at when we are talking about Industry 4.0. Mm, with email, it changed the way people communicated with each other. With IoT, the same thing is going to happen with all the things, all the machines, and all the objects around us. They're going to communicate all this information in very quicker and faster manner. So this is a fundamental idea of Industry 4.0 or industrial IoT. What are our problems in India manufacturing industry? Especially, I'm talking about the small and medium scale enterprises. These problems may be applicable to tier one or the big enterprises, or may not be applicable. But for tier one, from the perspective of tier one companies, uh, the basic challenges of any medium scale industry are like productivity. Second is writing down any information which is on the shop floor, and the third is travel of that information. Let's take the problem of productivity. Productivity has two different meanings. One is how well we use the machines or the resources that we have. What is the uptime, downtime? What are the energy costs we are dealing with when we are using these machines? Because these are the machines which are money making centers, and if we are not aware of how we are using it, then we are we are then our decisions may not be that correct. It is exactly like having a vehicle without speedometer. So we really don't know at what speed we are running, at what is our mileage, how much fuel we need, how much time do we need to reach to a certain destination. This is one analogy and one important aspect we are struggling with, the productivity. Second part of productivity is, let's assume that we try our best to get all this information from all the machines. Operators write down whatever they're doing, the engineers go collect the information, then they make the reports, and then they try to present it to the management. Here we are putting very important people like engineers and the managers in the task of doing some simple things like collecting informations from the machines, which is absolutely waste of their talent, waste of their time. And it's and considering the cost of this whole middle management, it is really a very inefficient way of doing things. So the idea should be, the information should generally come to these people in a form that they can take decisions, they can take actions, and they can add some value to the next thing. If they could recognize some problems, they can solve the problems. So the cost of collecting information itself is so high, and once we have this information, if we could take some decisions, that is another cost saving center. So there are three aspects. One is utilization of the machines. Second is how well are we managing our middle management, and how well are they utilized, considering reducing the mundane tasks of collecting the information. And the third aspect is, with this information, with this smart management, how are we going to save the cost? So there are three ways IoT can help us, increase our productivity in all the three factors by almost 3-4 times. This is one way of looking at IoT. The second problem is writing information. We generally are reluctant in writing things, and you know we are people of more of memory. We try to memorize things, and then it becomes a person centric situation. So some person who knows all the information becomes the key person, and then there are also chances that the same people can also tamper the information. They can manipulate the information. Even if people are very honest and all, it's human beings, we are tempted to manipulate few things. And that's where writing has to be done either manually or electronically. Manually we are not good at it, so there is a chance with IoT that information can be written electronically without anybody tampering it. This is another advantage. The third advantage of this technique is the travel of information. It is going to travel at the speed of light. I mean, theoretically at the speed of light, of course, with the speed of internet and the kind of connections we have. But this is going to travel almost in real time, maybe in a couple of minutes delay. With that, you have a chance to save a potential loss of your time, or potential loss of some multi-crore machine, which otherwise would have taken you to realize maybe 1 week that our machine was not working for 4 hours in a day for last 3 days. It just takes a lot of time for this information to reach to the top management, and then the questioning starts, why, what happened and all. But there is no chance that we can go back in the time and change anything, because we have already lost 4 hours per day, like 12 hours of a machine which costs maybe 10,000 rupees per hour. And that's the beauty of this information, and the travel of information which IoT can bring into. So this is IoT is going to do exactly the same thing what internet has done. But even in the era of internet, we kind of underestimated or realized its potential bit late. Now we have a chance to implement IoT in parallel with the entire world, because Indian infrastructure of internet is specifically changing so rapidly, and probably we are one of those countries who have data at the minimum cost and in abundance. So we should take an advantage of these things. How do we do this? How do we utilize this technology? What are the case studies, and how exactly we're going to implement it? I'll get back to you in the next video. Thank you.